Ladies and gentlemen, we've got absolute breaking news that is absolutely critical as it pertains to the class of 2023 superstar. Five-star receiver Carnell Tate has officially announced his commitment to Ohio State. He did it a few minutes ago via Instagram. The five-star superstar receiver chooses the Buckeyes just like I said he would a month ago, and they beat out Tennessee. What an amazing job by Brian Hartline, Ryan Day, and really a situation where Carnell Tate is a young kid. He gets thrown a bunch of money at him by Tennessee, but he sits back, he takes his time, and he makes a logical decision that's in the best interest of his future, not just the here and now. If he would have committed to Tennessee, he probably would be a millionaire right now. Instead, he says, why make $2 million right now when I can go be developed as a first-round pick and get a $25 million contract when I get drafted in the NFL? What an amazing decision for Carnell Tate. He is a Buckeye, and you take a look at him, he is the number 28th overall player, but I want to say something right here, right now. When you look at Carnell Tate's overall rankings, when you compare all the sites, I have no clue what ESPN is doing. So Carnell Tate on 3 has him as the number 17 overall player. 247 Sports has him at 14th overall. Rivals has him at 5th overall. And ESPN has him as the nation's 19th best receiver outside of their top 100. I don't know how ESPN expects to be taken seriously when you have rankings like that. That's what's holding his composite down. If ESPN had him ranked properly, he would be a top 10 prospect, guys. I'm telling you, Carnell Tate, borderline number 1 overall receiver. He is committed to Ohio State. Now the focus immediately shifts to another superstar 5-star receiver who just visited this weekend. He was on a massive multi-day visit. Brandon Inniss, and he is a guy that I expect in the coming days, any moment, will announce his commitment to Ohio State. And then we have the whole Noah Rogers saga, which is still a developing situation that we're going to have to monitor. But what you guys should know right now, Carnell Tate officially committed to Ohio State. I put out a video about a month ago saying Tennessee is getting desperate. Tennessee fans got all mad at me. They said, no, we're getting Carnell Tate. I said, Tennessee, it's not happening. Tennessee fans, they are just completely unhinged. They've lost it at this point. This was sent from a Tennessee fan this morning before Carnell Tate committed. It says, at Carnell Tate, hello, Mr. Tate. My 8-year-old son is a diehard Tennessee fan and prays every night that you are coming to Tennessee. I told him this weekend that it may not happen, and the little guy started crying. We hope you come to Tennessee, but if you don't, we wish you the best. So, just completely deranged, unhinged comments. Tennessee fans continue to behave in a completely ridiculous fashion. I had a video yesterday where, I detailed a love letter that a Tennessee fan sent Carnell Tate, but it's not happening. Carnell Tate says, you know what, guys? Tennessee, thank you for offering me 7 figures. I want to go get developed by Brian Hartline. And now it's not just Carnell Tate. This is going to start an absolute artillery barrage of commitments for Ohio State. You've also got a guy, Jeremiah Matthews, who he's a guy I've been told he's going to be moving up the rankings very soon. He'll probably be a top 150 prospect from Cincinnati, Ohio. Just came off an unbelievable visit to Ohio State. He is on commitment watch. Brandon Inniss, the 5-star superstar receiver, is on commitment watch. And Noah Rogers, the unfortunate situation that happened to Noah. He couldn't get out to Ohio State this past weekend. He's trending away from the Buckeyes. They are trying to get him to visit during the week this week. It's unfortunate. We don't know what Noah wants to do. I think he wants to go to NC State. You win some, you lose some. We will settle for Carnell Tate and Brandon Inniss and be completely fine Tate and Inniss are very close. They're extremely good friends. So this could be multiple 5 stars in the coming days for Ohio State. They also have an absolute huge visitors list next weekend. They're going into their visit with Caleb Downs as the leader. They're going into their visit with Justice Haynes as a top leader, possibly. People have been kind of floating it out that they might lead for him as well. So this is a major time. But guys, overall, this recruitment, Ohio State really early on starts out as the leader for Tate. It looks like they were going to get him to commit. He kept pushing back his commitment. It looked like Notre Dame, with Carnell being originally from Illinois, it looked like Carnell was going to decide between Ohio State and Notre Dame. The whole Texas A&M NIL saga happens. Tennessee gets their name in the NIL ring. They land a 5-star quarterback in the class of 2023 because they gave him an $8 million contract, and then they suddenly start throwing around a 7-figure offer to Carnell Tate, which admittedly, I'm sure he'll tell you he was contemplating it. He was, but in the end he says, you know what? I can get an NIL deal once I get to Ohio State, and I can get developed better at Ohio State and by Brian Hartline. So this is an absolute major get. And again, guys, when you look at Carnell Tate and you look at his ranking, he's a lot better, actually, than the 28th overall prospect. The only reason he's ranked that low is because ESPN is just completely lost when it comes to rankings, and they have him outside their top 100. It's disgusting. I don't understand it, but overall, what an interesting recruitment here. A true NIL type deal. It's Ohio State, it's Notre Dame, and Tennessee out of nowhere comes into it. But now Tennessee is going to have to reallocate those funds they were going to give to Carnell Tate. And it's funny because this was on a Tennessee message board. It says, yeah, well, it doesn't sound good. I wish the kid the best at Ohio State and use the money we were going to use on him to solidify the defensive side of the ball. So this is something I told Tennessee fans they were going to do about a month ago when I called Carnell Tate to Ohio State, and they didn't want to hear it. Now their own fan base is saying that. I said, listen, you were going to give Carnell Tate a 7-figure NIL deal. What you're going to do now is you're not getting Carnell Tate, reallocate those funds, use it on a 5-star defensive, pass rusher or someone like that, and they lost their minds. These Tennessee fans are completely deranged. They need to calm down. It's getting sad, and wow, have they behaved weirdly. We're seeing they're messaging Carnell Tate, love letters, things like that. I don't know what's going on with this recruitment, but guys, it is officially done. Carnell Tate is a Buckeye, and this is going to absolutely kickstart probably one of the greatest recruiting summers in Ohio State history with the guys that they're looking at. We're looking at a Caleb Downs commitment to Ohio State probably in a few weeks. We're looking at Brandon Inniss committing in probably tomorrow or maybe the next day, the next few days for Brandon. Jermaine Matthews, another solid player, solid athlete, maybe a cornerback type player, slot cornerback, who absolutely showed out at a recent camp. He should be committing to Ohio State, we would think, in the coming weeks. A lot of things happening. There's major visits around college football. We're going to go through it at some point. But Ohio State, the major story right now, and the absolutely critical, huge news, Carnell Tate has committed to Ohio State. I said this was going to happen a month ago, and it has finally happened. It looked like Tennessee there for a little bit, but then Ohio State regained momentum, and they end up landing him as their number 1 receiver so far in the class of 2023. But guys, this is still a developing story. The Noah Rogers situation, it is ongoing, and it will be monitored. It will be monitored, and we'll see what happens there. But that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.